You can come across. Okay. Hi. How you doing?
I'm fine.
Awesome.
Is this Joey?
No, Joey is inside.
Inside?
Yes, sir.
You're live now.
All right, am I live now?
We're on the right event now.
All right, and that chat the high is my chat? Yeah, you put the chat and all this stuff on that screen. So I can just minimize that, right?
Here. Yeah.
All right.
You need your chat back over here?
Yep.
Where? Okay.
There we go. All right. Why am I not wearing a suit? Because it's not time for me to wear a suit yet. I wear a suit tomorrow. I was traveling today, so I didn't wear a suit. I'm not wearing a suit today. I'll wear a suit tomorrow. All right. So now,
I'm sorry.
sorry about that. We had to get, this is just to hear you loud and clear. There we go. It's a new hat day. It's my Yankee hat. I traveled in my Yankee hat. What's wrong with that? So, all right. So that wasn't Ray. That was actually Clay, Jay. That was actually Clay. You, Clay, and your whole background is showing up. I know it shouldn't be now, Boston. It should be good now. It should be good now. Got sound now, says Nick. Good. All right. So, again, let's start this all over again. Welcome. We're live in Tampa, Florida. In the background is the airport. We're staying at the Marriott Airport. And this is where we're going to do the live stream. So with all of that going on, I think I want to do a little bit of a forum today. I got a whole bunch of stuff planned, but you know something? Because we're live here, I'm going to give an opportunity for you guys to, you talk to me, and I'll talk back to you, and we'll talk about that. Joey on the screen, what an event. He was on the screen. Clay was on the screen. And of course, I'm on the screen. How about, do you like the background? Type of 1 in the room if you like the background. That's the actual airport. Love the windows. If you like the screen, where we're streaming from today, type of 1 in the room. Let's start off that way. Can we talk about IMG again? Clay, can you do me a favor? Can you get me a pen? A pen. Let's talk about, if you want to look at some individual stocks, I got you. You want to look at IMG, we'll look at IMG. But today I want it to be your day. Let's talk about whatever you want. All right, since we're going to do this on the fly, whatever.
It's an expensive pen. I better get that back.
Listen, it's my pen if it's in my hand. Nectario says I'm in and out. All right, so, that was not good. What just happened? Oh my. What just happened? All right. No, that's not the screen I want. Hey, Clay, I did something and everything jumped all over the place. I moved the mouse and everything just moved all over the place. Oh, is that what it was? All right, so let me put me back into the software. Is that what it is? So I got a couple of people here live already here. I lost my chat too. What happened to my chat? Dang it, I lost the chat. No, that's not it. That's not it. I think that's it. Is that it? There's the chat. All right. So I'm going to move the mouse, move the mic a little closer. Much better hat today. You don't look like an old goof walking in New Jersey boardwalk. Wow, that's so horrible. All right. So here we are. Looking at the market today, market took a little bit of a hit to the downside. Interesting that the 388 crossed yesterday. We bounced right off a level of resistance of 54.71. The market's got a couple of different levels of resistance to get through before we continue to move higher. So just keep that in mind. And I think with the volatility that we have in the market, we're going to be susceptible to up days, down days, up days, down days. So just keep that in mind. It's raining in Florida. Yes, it is, Maria. It is raining in Florida today. So, but you know something? I'm glad I'm here. And I'm glad that you guys are here with us as well. Thank you, Brian. Brian says you're the best, Glenn. All right, so again, I'm looking for individual stocks. I'm looking for topics, things that are going on in the market that you want some insight on. We'll talk about that today. I do have some news stories if I can find them. All right, and starting with the unemployment claims fell during the holiday week. When we're looking at the whole market, the whole jobs market, it's kind of interesting because it's still strong. A lot of jobs are out there for people to take. And a lot of people are offering a lot of money for people to take those jobs because of inflation. And it makes it tough for the Fed at this particular point in time. Michael says, what is the best way to play this choppy market? Unless I day trade, it's hard to stay in a trade. And Michael, I'm with you 110%. With the volatility and the back and forth of the market, it is tough to sit in stocks long term. So, Michael, as you bring that up, let me go talk about some stocks that I've set up for you from a swing trade perspective. All right, so Michael, where's my swing trade stocks? Here's some of my swing trade plays. And these are stocks that if you put them on a 3-month graph, if you graph them and you put them on a 3-month graph, these stocks have had some legs to the upside. So if you're looking for something to play a little longer term, stocks that tend to be going against the flow of the market, I might want you to keep your eyes on these stocks. All right, so Luna is number one in here, RTX. All right, I'm writing down some of these stocks for you. So, Michael, when I look at a stock like Luna, given what the market's conditions are, this is the kind of stock that I want you to keep your eyes on. Does that make sense, Michael? Bottom left, excuse me, top right, on a 3-month graph, the 3 and the 8s have been solid. And if I'm trying to find a stock to stay in a little longer term, I'm going to play some semblance of moving averages, whether it's 3 and the 8, 5 and the 10, 20 and 50, whatever moving averages you want. That is what I'm going to be looking for to play stocks longer term. Does that make sense, Michael? Does that make sense? All right, CTRM. Stocks that you're putting up there. CTRM has been a tough stock, EJM. I liked it a lot last year at the right time, but then after that, it just was a tough stock to look at, but we'll take a look at it. John says crowd breaking down to a new low. We'll take a look at that as well. AGFY. So, Michael, hopefully I answered your question. I got a couple of other stocks in this list. Look at Pinduoduo. The stock did pull back with the 3 and the 8, but then bounced back up. Nice up day on Pinduoduo today. Average volume has been above average volume for the past 3 days. That's the kind of stock that I'm looking for. All right, that's the kind of stock that I'm looking for. CPRX is a stock that I do currently own, Peter. I do like that. DVN we'll take a look at. But, Michael, I'm honing in on you because these are the kinds of stocks that if anybody's trying to hold on stocks to for a little longer time, bottom left, top right, let the graph come to you, let the stock come to you. Don't fight the trend. And when the 3 and the 8 breaks down, that's a good opportunity to wait for another buying opportunity. Look at that. The 3 and the 8 cross still going. That's what I'm looking for. All right. It says I'm coming in and out on audio. Sorry about that. I don't know if it's the background noise or whatever it is. I'm not in as much of a controlled environment as I normally am out here as well. All right. Maybe long to hold. Google long. GOOGL. Any other questions about the market? All right. Any other questions about the market? And Michael, I still got a couple of more for you here. Here's BBVA. Bottom left, top right, a little gappy though. Be careful with that one. Nick says, you talk about the 3 and the 8. Is that an EMA or a moving average? It is a 3 and 8 exponential moving average. Now, a lot of people have asked me, well, why do you use that? Because we found over time it does a really good job, whether you're a short-term investor, a short-term trader, or a longer-term investor. It does a really good job. GM versus TM. GM versus TM. What is TM? CPNG. Good. I'm loving that you're giving all these stocks. But I am looking for more market-related questions. If I'm going to flow today, I know that there's questions about the market that you have out there as well. Those are some of the questions that I'm looking for. Has anyone got any AI stocks? And actually, we had a watch list of AI stocks. I think I did a video on AI stocks. I got to go back and remember. I don't know EJM. I might not have. All right. So, and those are my stocks that I have for you longer term, Michael, if that's what you're looking for. All right. I'm going to build a watch list of your stocks that you've given to me. Let's go to customer picks. I think we are heading down still. The DEW is still short. One of the things that I've said earlier this week in one of the videos that I did, I guess it was for Tuesday. It was either Tuesday or Wednesday. is that I still think long term we are going to be in for more downside than upside. Absolutely. Is it time for gold? Gosh, you know something? Gold is on the move. I'm still not ready because the dollar is not where I want it to be, but I can't fight the tape. If gold is moving, and that goes back to your question, that was Maria's question and Mark Wood's question. What is your opinion of precious metals? If they're moving, you know something, I'm not going to tell you not to take advantage of it. I'd really like to see a weaker dollar, though, before I start to jump on board, but we're going to look at that. GME has been a good one to the short side. Man, talk about a story. Talking about, did everybody see the story about BBBY? Let me go back to that. Talking about meme stocks. Where is it? I got a story on that. Bed Bath & Beyond. Bed Bath & Beyond warns it may go out of business. Stock tanks to lowest levels in 30 years. How many of you have actually played the meme stocks and made money? Type of 1. If you tried to play the meme stocks and did not make money, type of 2. Let me hear that. If you played the meme stocks and made money, type of 1. If you played the meme stocks and lost money, type of 2. Do not buy shares that have sell recommendations since I bought a company that went to pennies. Listen, Fabricio, that makes sense. I would not buy in any market situation a stock that's got a sell recommendation unless it's something that's really a catalyst to push the stock's price higher. I'm not thinking that I would buy any sell recommended stock. BBBY, I have a bun HCF 20% off coupons. I do too, Jay. That's one of my favorite stores to go to, believe it or not. It really is one of my favorite stores to go to, and I got a bunch of those 20% off as well. EJM says small growth. I think if we get into a Google of AI, we are moving in the right direction. Web 3. I'll take a look at that. Web 3. All right, so that was a story that I had for you today. I think it made sense to talk about it, John, from a GME perspective. All right, let's go see about making this watch list of your stocks. All right, you gave me a lot of stocks today. IMG, that's gold stock, right? I think it is. No, it's not. It's a bioscience. CrowdStrike, which I'm a fan of to help protect against hackers. Raytheon, IMG, I think it's IMGD. IMGD. I think it's IM Gold. All right, you got to give me another ticker symbol for IMG. CrowdStrike, comma, Raytheon, comma, coal, natural gas, but to the downside. CTRM, that shipping company, you know, AGFY, comma, AGFY, there we go, comma, CPRX, a good drug company, still making money, DVN, comma, Google L, comma, GM versus TM, GM, comma, TM, comma, CPNG, comma, GDX, comma, Gush, comma, GME, comma, Web3, WEB, Web3. I don't think I have a ticker symbol for it. All right, backspace. All right, here's the stocks you gave me. Let's take a look at them. EXR, DCP. Let's go take a look at some more of those. All right, DCP, comma, EXR. What's EXR? Okay, gotcha, storage. Can I get some free coupons, Jay? Roger, no free coupons today. All right, YPF. I'm trying to get up to about 20 stocks. Oh, did that hit? I don't know if that hit. Might have just been Y. All right, there we go. I got 17 stocks in here. Let's go peep them out. First things first, if all of the stocks that you gave me, IMG on the TSX, I'm not on the TSX, Brian. Oh, that's why I couldn't get it. I'm not in the TSX, I'm in the U.S. Stock Exchange. All right, I'm on the U.S. side. What is going on with oil? Your thoughts? Oh, man, I'm going to put USO in here. I still think that a couple of things are happening. Who asked me that question? Karen. A couple of things are happening. One, China's starting to come back through the reopen phase. They are the biggest importer of oil. That's going to help oil. 2, out of all of the oil that we sold out of our reserves at a higher price, we're getting ready to buy it back at a lower price. That's going to increase demand. There's a third thing. What is my third thing? I forgot. I had a third thing. I don't know what my third thing is. There's a third thing. There is a third thing. I got to see if I can remember it. But from that perspective, Karen, I think that oil has the potential to rise. But with all of the oil that we put back into the global economy artificially by selling off our reserves, one, we put ourselves in a bad spot. But from a business perspective, being able to buy it back at a lower price to possibly refill it, that may not. See the plane taking off in the background? Look at that plane taking off in the background. Woo-wee. Glenn, I appreciate you putting EXR and Crowd on the list. I am looking at those as shorts. Crowd, I am shorting. All right, so now, out of all the stocks you gave me, let's talk about the ones that have the possibility of going up. All right, let's start off with the VST. The stocks that have the best combination of value, safety, and timing. There's CPRX. There's YPF. There's coal. That's the opposite, or the bearish side of natural gas. DCP with a VST of 1.19. GDX, the gold. Look at that. Gold's got a VST above 1. After it's been beaten up so much, it makes sense. Devon Energy. That whole oil energy spot, with a lot of these bull runs that we've had, they've been based off of oil and energy. But I'm thinking, something, I don't have a more definitive answer except for I think that it's going to go up. It's a tough spot to be in right now, currently right now. Google, undervalued. Google has gotten beaten up so much that it's gone from overvalued to undervalued. Notice that the stocks that are at the top of the list as well tend to be more undervalued. So there's 2 things. VSTs are above 1 and they are undervalued. And they're undervalued, and our idea is we want you to be in long-term undervalued stocks that are going up in price. All right, so out of the top stocks in here, RTX, Raytheon, well, that's in that whole big space of, dagnabbit, aerospace. It's aerospace and defense. That's always going to be at the top of a list. Just about every stock with the exception of Boeing, are going to be in that space. So if I'm looking at the stocks that are undervalued with high VSTs, those are the stocks that I'm going to be looking at. But Raytheon, out of all of these stocks, happens to be overvalued. All right, so Mark, it is defense. I feel like Glenn has jinxed my laptop, or it's Joey's fault. Yep, it's Joe. Mark is here, as a matter of fact, Joe. Mark, you should come. He can hear me. Mark, you should come out here so everybody can see you. Mark is actually here in the background. Got to meet him, which was awesome. Got to meet him face to face. All right, so now let's take a look at the same 18 stocks. Which stocks have the most upside potential to outperform the market over the next 1 to 3 years? All right, so what did you just say about RTX? Is a prime contractor for Stinger, and we've burned in 6 years. All of these defense companies are going to be on the rise because do you not know that in that $1.7 trillion budget that we just passed, that $853 billion is going to defense. $853 billion is going to defense. So guess who's getting a lot of that money? A lot of these contractors, whether it's Raytheon, whether it's Boeing, whether it's any of those companies are going. Keep your eyes on all of those companies. So Raytheon is a company that I would keep my eyes on. The money is budgeted, $853 billion specifically for defense. So Cigar, Mark was telling me that you and him used to work together for a lot of years way back. What's the go-to for defense stocks? You know something? Let's do this. I'm going to right-click on Raytheon, and I'm going to view the stocks in that industry group, because I think that's a good question. If the money is there, if the budget is there for these stocks, there's 97 stocks. Is that correct? I don't want that. That's not what I wanted. That's diversified. Give me, what's another one? I'm going to put Boeing up here. Raytheon is in diversified companies. That's kind of interesting. That one should be in, there it is, Boeing Boeing should be in aerospace and defense. All right, let's go take a look at those. Right click, view the stocks in that industry group, because that's a good question. DFEN is a good stock, is a good ETF to play the whole space. Jay is right. DFEN is a good, DFEN is a great ETF to play the whole space. So there's 28 stocks in here. All right, I'm going to load up 30. There's 28 stocks in the defense space. So if you're asking me, what is the go-to play? What am I going to do? Well, why not go to the space and look for the highest VST, which in this case is Lockheed Martin. Who asked me that question? EGM, does that help you out right there? How about that? Lockheed Martin's got the best VST, good earnings growth. Let's talk about it from an earnings growth perspective. Which company in here has got the Embraer? It's got the best earnings growth, growing their earnings. Airbus is up in here. Planet Labs, Lockheed Martin. So EJM, I'm thinking that, would I hold it for a year? You talk about Lockheed? Hey. You know something? It's going to be tough to hold any stock a year or more. Let's go view the stock graph on it. I'm liking this. How many of you are liking this flow that we got going on right now? I'm loving this. How many of you are liking this flow? I'm liking that I can answer the questions on the fly, no matter what I've got prepared for you, but I can answer the questions on the fly. Type of one. Now, EJM, you want to look at a stock to hold long-term, a year? Would you be comfortable holding this a year, EJM? Would you be comfortable holding this year? Did it go higher than it did last year ago? Yeah, it did. But would you be willing to hold through this? So let's take a look at that. I'm going to graph all of these stocks. And if I had to make a decision on which stocks out of these that I would want to hold for a year, this is the analysis that I would do. I would put all of these on a one-year graph. I'd put this on a one-year graph, and I'd see what has worked over the last year. Oof. That's ERJ. There's Airbus. Does this make sense, EJM? Woo, Northrop Grumman. Look at that over the last year. Bottom left, top right, moving up. Not bad. You can walk across if you need to. It's okay. There you go. So, all right. So, you too, my friend. Thank you. Northrop Grumman. I do like that over the last year. Now, it may not have the best VST, but if I'm looking at trying to hold a stock in that space for a year, man, that may not be a bad play. But this is the kind of analysis that the VectorVest software gives me at any given time. General Dynamics, also a big name in the space, very volatile. So what I'm looking for in the space is to make that decision, EJM, is going through the graphs to see which ones historically have looked good over the last year. Those are the stocks that I would be, and it really looks like Northrop Grumman would be it. I collect a small pension from, do you really, Roger? EJM, I agree. We might need to come back to that Q2. All right, maybe with some insurance plays on the in EJM, that may not be a bad play either. Powell is a local ammo maker. I do know that. I do know about them. All right, so that's a great question in the space to try to help you to find out what you would want to do. But again, I can use the VectorVest system to go through the analysis to help me to do that. All right, what else is in this list that you gave me? We looked at the stocks that have the good upside potential over the next year. Extra space storage is in here with 1.17. Agrifree. Let's go look at some of these on a graph. These are stocks that have the potential to outperform the market over the next 1 to 3 years. Let's go look at these graphs. All right, let's go look at these graphs as they pop up. Let's go put this on a 3-month graph. All right, so these all have relative values above 1. Well, we know what's going on with energy. Energy's been beaten up, but look at the relative value. The stock still has good upside potential. So the question came up to is, what's going on with oil? Well, I'm thinking that it's a real tough time to be in oil. It's a tough time to be in energy. It's got great upside potential. What's hurting it? Relative timing. The stock's in a downtrend. So even when you look at energy and you look at natural gas and you wonder what the flying flip is going on, check the RT. The RT is going to tell you the hidden story. It's not in an uptrend. And if it's not in an uptrend, no matter what I think, no matter what I tell you, You can't fight what the stock's not doing. And right now, it's not going up. The person that asked me about oil, does that make sense? The person that asked me about oil, does that make sense? EJM says he's got to go to work. Good stuff today. Hey, EJM, if you haven't yet, hit the like button for me. If you haven't yet, please hit the like button. If any of you haven't hit the like button, I'm loving the flow today. All right, so I'm answering questions about the market. We're looking at a lot of stocks that you gave to me. Sometimes I think it's good when you're out and about that we can do this. We can do this on the fly. I had a whole bunch of stuff prepared for you, like I do every Thursday, but I'm feeling this, and I'm hopefully that you guys are feeling this enough that you hit the like button as well. I like when I can interact with you instead of talking to you. Let's talk together. You got these stocks on your mind for a reason. CPRX, stock that I do currently own. Bottom left, top right on a 3-month graph, the stock is kicking butt and taking names. Now, a little bit of a pullback here, and it stopped right at a beautiful level of support sitting at $18.39, bouncing off today. I'm feeling this. How many of you own CPRX? We got 158 people 141 likes. Yeah, I'm with you, Boston. Listen, I'm trying to go with the flow. I want you guys to interact today a lot. You could do this on a beach like at Dolphin Island. I just came back from Dolphin Island. It was 13 degrees in Alabama. 13 degrees. Who goes to the beach when it's 13 degrees in Alabama? Me. All right, so I'm loving that the airport's in the background, which is kind of cool. Love these windows. I should walk around, but I don't want to because then I can't do what I'm doing. All right, CPRX, a drug company, relative value above 1. Fundamentally, the stock is sound. You can't see that. Fundamentally, let me move that over. Fundamentally, the stock is sound with an RV above 1, with an RS above 1. Oh, man. Why isn't... Oh, it is showing. I just can't see it because I got the chat over here, right? Is that what it is? All right, you guys are seeing it. All right, I just wanted to make sure. All right, RV is above 1. RS is above 1. As a drug company, finding a stock like a drug company that's fundamentally sound is like finding the needle in the haystack. Can I get an amen for that? When you look at all of these drug companies, a lot of these drug companies are way overvalued. But when you can find a drug company that is undervalued, that's like finding a needle in a haystack. Merck is another good stock that I like. It's a company that's been around for a long time. It's got good image, the whole 9 yards. Merck is another company, more expensive than CPRX, but another great company as well. All right, only a couple of amens, man. I'm telling you, when you can find a drug company, maybe y'all haven't been investing long enough, but if you can find a drug company that is an undervalued, good, fundamentally sound stock, you put that in your sock and you smoke it. I don't know if you want to smoke it in your sock. By the way, Boston, thank you for being here. By the way, Lisa, thank you for being here. All right, what else is here? Let's go. Wow, CTRM. Now, it did run, and you know something? I did pick up some. I made some money, and I'm using the 3 and 8 just like I do on a trade, on a longer-term play. I used the 3 and 8. I got out. But this is another company with great upside potential. Look at the relative value on a stock that's trading at $1. All right, relative safety is not there. Relative timing has gotten beaten up. But it's got positive earnings, and they grow their earnings at 40% a year. This is a stock that I did a lot of videos on. It got a lot of views. Let's go put this on a 1-year graph. Back in here, I made a lot of money and was talking about it. And then since then, it's fallen a lot. Shipping companies are making money. CTRM just doesn't seem to be one of them. CTRM just doesn't seem to be one of them. IMG is IAM on the U.S. side. All right, so let's do this. Let me finish looking at these real quick. And then I'll go, it's IAM. All right, I got you. So CTRM is a tough play. DCP, petroleum, again, that whole energy, oil stuff, this one is at least moving in a channel rather than a lot of the other stocks in the space that are moving down. All right, so keep that in mind from that perspective. YPF, another petroleum, and you're going to find some of them that are going outside of the realm of the rest of them. And YPF is one of them. YPF is definitely one that in this space that I would keep my eyes on, because since August or so, the stock is definitely moving higher. It's just 1-2 days off of the 1 year high. Looking for a stock in this space, I like this one. Put this on a 6-month graph, it's going to look better. Put it on a 3-month graph, it's going to look even better. If I'm looking for a stock in the space, do you guys agree with that? Type of one. If I'm looking for a petroleum stock to take advantage of, this may be one. Type of one in the room. This may be one. I just sold YPF this week, made a bunch, then got out. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I love the nice open day today, very little wick on the top. Tells me that there's conviction behind the move, approaching a new level of resistance. I'm liking this. If I'm thinking about owning an oil play, YPF may be it. Now, guess what? If I do get in it and it starts to go down, then guess what? I'm going to look for that 3 and 8 end of day like I'm looking at right now. If that 3 crosses below the 8 like you see right here, I would take that off the table on an end of day graph. All right, I would take that off the table. Let's go to the next stock, Google. Now, you're telling me that it may be time to buy Google. What goes up must come down. And I'm probably getting the same story with Tesla. Tesla's been beaten up. Google's been beaten up. Tech has been beaten up. It's time to buy. Let me talk to you about that. All right. I'm a big fan of knowing what goes up must come down. All right. How do I want to do this? I'm going to go to the market timing graph. If I'm looking at stocks that have been beaten up and waiting for them to go back up, I need to look at this from a market timing perspective. What is the market telling me? What is market timing telling me? Market timing is not telling me it's time to really start to go back up the truck and buy stocks. Does that make sense? So for anybody who's telling me that, Google's been beaten up, it's a good time to think about taking it, the first thing I'm looking for in the stock is, so I already talked about market timing. But the first thing I'm looking for in the stock is for the 3 to cross above the 8, like it did here. Was that a quick opportunity to make some money? Absolutely. Get out on the 3-8 cross, get back in, get out. That's where I'd be looking for. Does that make sense for the person who asked me about Google and thinking about picking it up now? Does that make sense? Let the stock come to you. You may think that because it's falling that it's poised and getting ready to run up. Let the stock come to you. Does that make sense to everybody in the room? Type a yes or a no. I understand that stocks get beat up, and at some point in time, you've got to go and you're going to purchase. But let the stock come to you. Don't try to outguess and think what the stock is going to do, because every time you do that, folks, the market has a beautiful way of humbling you each and every time. Whether it's Tesla, whether it's Google, whether it's Amazon, whether it's Apple, any of these tech stocks that have been beaten up, let the stock show you that it's ready. And I think that that's going to happen with a lot of these gold stocks right now as well. There's GM. I like the bounce. So now, let's say you thought that GM was beaten up and it's time to buy. Well, at least GM is showing me that the end of day, that the 3's crossed above the 8. That's a sign. Whereas if I go back to Google, I got no sign. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody out there who's anticipating when a stock is going to move, because you never know how low is low. How low can you go? We can go all the way down to the float. Guess what? Because I know. And you know something? Boston didn't say so. Glenn did. All right, so if I'm going to look for the opportunities to pick up on some of the beaten up stocks, let the stock come to you. Like GM, let the stock come to you. Now, am I telling you to back up the truck and buy it? No. It does have a level of resistance that it's going to have to get through to show that it's got legs to the upside at 37.53. But I like that the 3-8 cross. I like that the volume is there. I'm not getting the sign that the RT is telling me that it's in the that it's uptrend yet. Let the stock come to you. Amazon will come to your front door. Yeah, that's true. Amazon will come to your front door. Ask my wife. Man, gosh, darn it. All right. AGFY, I don't know why you gave me this stock. I'm not feeling it in any way, shape, form, or fashion. You know something? If I'm going to be speculative on the stock, let the stock have some volume. If I'm going to try to be speculative on the stock, let the stock have some volume. This ain't got none. It got nada, nunca, zip, nil, nunca. I would rather, if I'm going to look at a speculative play, let this stock have some. I'm going to put this on a 1-day graph. Let's see what it looks like today. Oof. Anybody want to trade that type of yes or no? Do you want to trade that? I know it's a penny stock. It's 35 cents. I looked at it on a 3-month graph. I'm going to look at it on a 1-month graph. I'm going to look at it at 3. There's nothing here that tells me I like that stock. So what do you wait for to let a stock come for you? I'm looking at, just like I showed here on that GM stock, I'm looking for the graph. Whatever moving averages I'm using, whether it's moving averages, whether it's support or resistance, whether it's a technical indicator, the graph, the stock has got to tell me something. In this case, CB, I'm looking at end of day. I'm seeing that the 3 is crossed above the 8. That's what I see. That's what I see. I see that the 3 crossed above the 8. That's a positive sign. On top of that, on today's candle, very little wick at the top. People are buying into it and not selling out of it or profit taking on it. Does that make sense, CB? I'm looking, so when I went back to Amazon, Google, look at that. There's nothing that tells me that I'm ready to look at that stock. It's not coming to me. And the news could be out there that this stock could do this and that and the other thing, but if it's not coming to me, I'm not feeling it. Now, I did like that EXR had a relative value at 1.17. Fundamentally sound, relative safety at 1.12. The stock's hurting because it's got an RT of 0.71. The stock over the last 3 months is going down. Again, you may have news on the stock, may be looking at getting into the stock, but the stock's got to come to me. This stock is trending lower from that high, a down day today, creating its own new level of support. RT is trending. And again, you can get all the news you want to get on that stock. What is the stock doing? It's going down in price. Do you want to take somebody's news and buy a stock that's going down in anticipation of, hey, the stock's going to go up? Let the stock show me it wants to go up. I'd rather you start to buy into a stock that's starting to rise than to buy into a stock that continues to fall, and then you've got to make up that money and then some in order to start making money. All right? All right, so those are those stocks. I want to concentrate on some of these gold stocks. Let's go find them. Where am I? Let's go to the viewers tab. Let's go look at, there we go. There's GDX, there's Gush. Actually, let's go look at the commodities. USO, gold. So I'm looking at gold, natural gas, oil. Anything else in here? Anything else in here? Nope. So those are my commodity stocks that you gave me today. It's going away from you. Yeah, it's not coming to me. It's going away from me. Do you think Luna is going to continue to go up? We're going to take a look at that in a second. Hold on to that question. We're going to hold on. I'm going to hold on to that question. So here's my commodity stocks that you had in here. All right, so we're looking at gold, we're looking at natural gas, and we're looking at oil. All right. Why can't I make, this is weird. I'm using somebody else's computer. All right. Let's talk about the commodities. Let's go put this on a 3-month graph. Gold is on the move. All right, but look how sparsely, look at the gapiosity of it. Look at the gappiness of it. Be careful with gappy stocks because what can gap up can gap down. Be careful with that. But I do like on a 3-month graph, it is moving from the bottom left to the top right. The 3.8 crossed 3 days ago. A little bit of a pullback today, sitting at a level of support of 30.13. This is on GDX. All right, so just be careful with that. Luna won a couple of good contracts in December, but still warns that the chart is bearish. I'm going to take a look at Luna in a second. Remind me about Luna. All right? Remind me of Luna. Hopium. Mark is right about Hopium. Way to go, Mark! He can hear me. He can hear me. He can hear me. I want him to come out on camera. He's in the background. Oh, gosh. There's the oil. There's the oil play, which means what's the drip? Drip is probably moving up. All right, oil is still a tough play. I think that on paper, it's got the potential to rise, but the graphs are showing me it ain't the right time to be in it unless you're playing it to the downside. Unless you're playing it to the downside. Cold. Now, when I look at natural gas, it's moving. All right, check, 1, 2. Do you hear me now? Oh, I lost my chat.
It's in there somewhere. Click the OBS button. It might be in there.
There it is. I found it. All right, so now you can hear me. All right. Again, folks, this is live. This is live. You just saw Joey, but this is live. And I'm on a different computer. I'm on a whole different setup. All right, way better. So now you don't hear me out of my Yeti mic. You hear me out of a camera. Sound okay now. All right, so it sounds better. All right. So when I'm looking at the commodity plays right now, especially for natural gas and oil, I'm thinking the bearish side is the place to be. I still think it's got potential, but the bearish side, by way of the graphs, is the place to be. What else is in here? There's, that's all of them. All right, so I am a fan of gold. I really just need the dollar to get weaker. I so need the dollar to get weaker. What other questions you got? What other questions you got about the market? What other questions? I think that I've tried to answer to with the most honesty that I could in regards to your questions. And we looked at a lot of the stocks. We didn't look at every single one of them, but I think that if nothing else, I've given enough of an overview on the stocks that you've put into this list by way of the VectorVest system to get a better understanding of which ones you need to stay close to and which ones you need to stay away from. Cool putting a face to the voice. There we go. That's Clay in the background. Did you get me? You didn't get me nothing.
You're live.
But you could have still got me something. OMG, I'm out here sweating. You see me? I'm out here sweating live, and no one gets me a coffee. Nobody gets me a coffee. Sigh. It's all right. Nobody loves me. How many likes do we have, Boston? I can't see that. With this setup, I can't see how many likes we got. How many likes do we have, Boston? Because I'm going to get, if we don't, in regards to biotech. Oh, Luna. You wanted to know, you wanted to talk about Luna. Does Luna, let me go back to the graphs. You said, does Luna have the opportunity to keep going up? Instrument Scientific. So they got a contract. Let's put it on a 3-month. Somebody said they got a contract. We got 66. Really? It is what it is. Maybe listen. Today was all about you. Maybe you don't want me to be all about you. Maybe you want me to be all about me because I can do that too. You know, so maybe I need to be all about me. Sound is gone again. Check 1, 2. Now 72. All right, no. I'm just saying, you know me, I like 100. I like to get 100 likes. I like Luna. Does it? So you wanna know the answer as to if it can still go up? Let's analyze it on the graph. I got a level, a swing high right here, $9.52. Right now it's clearly above it. Couple of things that I'm looking for. If you're in the stock, stay in it. The end of day graph, 3-month graph saying it's good to go. Volume has picked up for the last 3 days as well, but it's starting to pull back a little bit. I'm going to give you points of egress, points of getting out. If the stock's price end of day falls below $9.52, you might want to take your profits, number 1. Number 2, look at the 3 and the 8. Number 3, I'm going to give you a level of here's a gap, all right, sitting at about $8.18. I've given you 3 opportunities to get out of the stock. Does that make sense to everybody in the room? Does that make sense to everybody in the room? Type of 1 if it makes sense, type of 2 if it doesn't. All right, if you're in the stock, your question was, does it still have the opportunity to go up? Any stock does. But I'm giving you 3 opportunities to get out of it. 1, if it breaks below this swing high, end of day of $9.52. 2, if the 3 crosses below the 8 end of day. 3, here's a level of a gap. If you want to give the stock a little bit more room, if it falls below that level of 818, that's probably your line in the sand to get out of it. I can tell you that for any stock that you want to look at and say, well, every stock's got the opportunity to keep going up. You need to learn to let the stock come to you to let you know when it's time to take that profit off the table or mitigate the loss. 3 opportunities on this individual stock that seems to be a hot stock right now. 3 ways to get out of the stock. All right, I think I'm leaving. I don't know how to stop all this stuff, so If this thing keeps streaming like until tomorrow, it's not gonna be on me, 'cause I don't know what I'm doing. Hey, how many likes did we get? We didn't get to 100 likes. It's all right. Again, we're Johnny on the spot today. I love that we were able to do Trending Thursday live right at the airport. You can see the airport behind me. You get to see me in my travel garb as I was traveling from North Carolina here. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Thank you guys for showing up today. All right, Mark says, okay, I gave him a like. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for showing up today as we were doing our Trending Thursday. And we had a little bit of technical difficulties in the beginning, but we came through. Glenn, is that your plane in the background? No, those planes are too big. My plane is in my private jet. Don't tell nobody. Don't let nobody know that I got one. All right? Don't tell nobody. My jet's over there. Don't worry about it. All right. So Betsy says, thank you so much, Glenn, and looking forward to the next few days. Folks, if you haven't signed up for the live stream, if you're not going to be here live, go to www.vectorvest.com/stream. All right, you get free access to the stream. Mark Norton's already here. I see a couple people are already here. It's going to be an awesome next couple of days as I get to meet many of you live. Sue says, got my like, Glenn. Thank you, Sue. I appreciate it. Where are we meeting tonight? I don't know, Martin. I haven't the slightest idea. I would love to go. I don't know what we're doing as a group. So it all starts from there, Martin. It all starts from there. Dr. Vic says, Glenn, what are your best short stocks that you like? Ugh. You know something? I can do that real quick. I'd go right to the Unisearch. I would go right straight to the Unisearch tool. And I would go for searches short. Actually, better yet, let's go to the viewers tab. Better yet, I'm gonna hook you up. Let's go to the trading systems viewer. I would look at a search like Pirate Short, which is kicking butt, right? So Pirate Short is a trading system. It's done very well over the last 1 month, 3 month, and 1 year, right? So let's go check it out. Let's go to Unisearch. Let's go to searches short. Let's go to Pirate Short. Let's run it. That's a great question, Dr. Vic. Let's go see what stocks I would like in here. I don't need all 100 stocks. I wouldn't do that. I'd go look at 20 stocks, run it. So I haven't actually taken have a good day, Trader X. I haven't taken a look at what stocks. Kala is interesting. I own Kala. Now this, and it's saying it's ready to short. I own Kala. Ooh. I wouldn't take that as a short. Let's graph those all. I own Kala, and Kala's still moving up. Still moving on up to the east side, to that deluxe apartment in the sky. Let's go to a 3-month graph. Which stocks do I like to short? This is, Rivian. Wow. Dr. Vic, look at that. Would you short that? Would you short that? But this is what I would do to help define some stocks to take advantage of to the downside. A lot of these I'm not. You know something? Even though that search is done well, I'd look for a different search. Where's one of my favorite searches though? Vern's Vultures. Vern's Vultures is one of my favorite searches to the downside to find stocks to sell short. All right, let's graph these stocks. Let's graph these stocks. And let's go see if there's any here that I like to play. The Kala is in here too. That doesn't make no kind of sense. The Kala would be in there. I'm not feeling either one of these. Wow. You know something, Dr. Vic? I might have to do a video. I might find you some stocks to sell short. I think I may do that next week. You got to remind me. I think I'm going to do some research and hone in for those people who want to sell stocks short. I might, worst over 10 might not be a bad one. Worst over 10. How come? Oh, worst over 10 is in a different. It's in a different search, a different group. Interesting. I don't know why it is. It's worst performers over 10. Let's graph these. I might do a short video. I might have to do a short video next week. Might have to hone in on some of that. Put this Man. This computer's- Come on, change my chair. Fine, if you want to do it that way. End of day, 1 month. I'll do it that way. Upstart. There you go, Dr. Vic. There we go. Here's some stocks. That was worst performers over 10. Does that help you, Dr. Vic? All right. Wow, GME. Look at these stocks. There you go. All right. I really do have to go this time. All right. I gotta go. Finish helping Joey set up. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Pretty much tried a new sale market. That would be another good one. But worst performers greater than $10 looks to be a winner to find some stocks to sell short. So with that, folks, I gotta go. Adios, arrivederci. All those people coming in live, I'm looking forward to seeing you. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all the peeps in Hawaii. If you haven't hit the like button yet, please do so. I tried to make it all about you today. Not about me, not about what I had set up for you, but all about you today. Great questions, good conversation on stocks. Bon dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Till next time I see you folks, see it.